How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Mojo Grip. Mike here. Today, I'm going to show you one of the underdogs of GA. Stay tuned. We're checking out the Cessna 206. We've covered quite a bit of Cessnas on this channel. The 172, we've covered the 177, the 210, and this, initially, if you look at it, you might think this is a 210, but this is a much bigger airplane compared to a 210. Think of it as a truck. Okay, not only in its capabilities to carry more load, but just it stands on the ramp or even in the hangar here. And this one here is a 2001 model. You don't necessarily see these planes often because I imagine that they serve specific missions, and they serve a mission where you need to carry more load or you need to travel with your family. If you are a pilot who is looking for an airplane that you can actually carry a lot of people in, when I say a lot, I really mean 3 to 5 people comfortably, you'd be looking at a 206. I'm just gonna go around it for you here. Again, if you recall the 210 or the 210s we checked out, because I think we've covered 2 of them already, you might see similar design features, but obviously if you're up and close with this airplane, you would see that this is a much longer plane. Also, the cabin is a bit more spacious. As a matter of fact, it's more comparable to the 210, the interior, which we'll see in a little bit. But practicality, this is the more practical airplane. And this particular one that we're looking at has had some modifications done to it. Still a certified plane, not experimental, but even with a certified plane, they've been able to add additional fuel tanks, additional doors, which I'll show you. But again, it's a more practical airplane. So let's get back up here and we'll start with the power plant. Again, just imposing, right? You look at how big this cowling is. It's a big engine in there. This model uses a turbocharged Lycoming O 540, so the TSI O 540, I believe. And so you have all the power you need to get you up in the air and cruising at a nice speed. Although turbocharge also means fuel burn, and you've got a constant speed prop from hard tilt. Again, look at the size of the prop and the hub here. It's a big plane. It is a big plane. Another modification that was done to this airplane is this door right here. So your standard 206 does not come with a door on the passenger side. You do have that door on the pilot side, but not one here. Let me open it for you. It's quite nice, actually. So you've got a nice, it's a bit more narrow, but if you're, I guess, average size, you can easily get into the airplane from here. Now, one thing also you'd have on the other side that you don't have here, you generally have a step up. Again, these come from factory. As a matter of fact, let me show you before I get too excited. I really want to show you the interior, but let me show you this first. So you have a standard wider door here, right? So you see, once this opens up, it's pretty wide. But on that side, it's about half of the room you would get in. So easily you can just, to get in the airplane, you have a nice step up here, foot right there, boom, step in. And once you step in, I mean, I don't know how wide this cabin is, but it looks spacious. And with this particular plane also, they've removed the seats. So your 206s will come with 6 seats. So that way you can fly up to 5 passengers. Now, you probably have to dabble between your fuel and the load that you're carrying, but the owner of this airplane already removed the back seats, which I'll show you how nice that back area is there to carry whatever. Now, let's check out the cockpit. Here you have your standard yokes. You have your analogs, 6-pack there, circuit breakers and electric switches below. But you see that they've done some nice upgrade to the airplane. This is, I believe, is a 750. So you've got GTN 650, 375. The 750 is a more larger screen. And so if you're flying instrument, this does all the nice work for you. You've got your radios also, all work great. And you come down here, you have your standard levers. Since it's a constant speed prop, so you do have a push and pull lever there for your propeller. That's for your mixture, fuel flow, and then obviously you have for your power there. Something interesting I thought this airplane also comes with is rudder trim. That's kind of cool. I don't actually think I've seen this before. So you can trim your rudders, and also you have your elevator nose trim here. And guys, if you've seen a lot of the airplanes that we've reviewed, for me, I trained in your conventional plane, and I love these because they're more mechanical. The reason I love these compared to, say, electronic trims that I fly most of the time now is with this, you get almost instant. The feedback from the airplane and the adjustment that you're making is almost instant. Whereas with electric, there's a split second there of wait time, but again, you get used to it. It's just a preference then. But these are really nice. And then, as I said, the space in the back, it's like having an SUV. Let me go on the other side and really show you what I mean. So we're back here. Again, I mentioned this door is an add-on, so that way a passenger can easily get in. But also, say you're on the bigger side, and again, this door is quite narrow. Generally speaking, these seats can go back and forth, and as you can see, look at the ample room you have for your legs. And I believe these seats are already pushed all the way back, or maybe close to all the way back. And you see the trail here. Look how much room you can still use. But this is where the magic happens, and why I think this airplane is the more practical plane, or probably one of the most practical airplane in its class. So you have this door for passengers. Again, these seats can scroll back, and the general will if someone was getting in. So you've got two seats back here. But look at this. Let me open this door for you, and you can see, voila, you have a baggage door. And look at this, ladies and gentlemen. This is why you get this airplane. Again, they generally come with additional seats, but why? When you can use all of this to carry more load. You see Stationairs like this flying in places like Alaska, or say you went hunting or something and you got a nice kill, you can fit a whole bear, or I don't know, anything you want to put back here, there's a lot of room. Now that said, it is an airplane, it's a single engine airplane, and you will have limitation for your gross weight or your useful load. I believe the takeoff weight on this plane is about 3,500. I'm going to double check that and leave it for you in the description. But you do have limitations. But imagine whatever missions that you're serving. Again, let's assume one, if you bought this plane to be able to carry friends, family somewhere, that's a perfect check right there. Now, if you bought it to carry other types of load or equipment, you definitely have the room. And again, oftentimes you may need to choose between your fuel capacity and the load that you're carrying. And again, this airplane has been fitted with extra tanks. So standard, they come with 88 gallons of total fuel. And then with the additional tanks in this plane, you've got 15 gallons on each side. So you've got an extra 30 gallons of fuel. So speaking of fuel, let's talk about the fuel flow, and what you should expect in terms of performance of this airplane. Who is this airplane for? Let's run through the numbers. Performance-wise, you're going to see about 130 to 140 knots in cruise. Your range, obviously, there's a lot of factors that goes into how long you'll be able to fly. The book says you can travel up to 800 nautical miles. This is a 4-hour airplane with the type of fuel burn. So your fuel flow at 130, 140 knots, 17 gallons. Again, it's a big engine and it's thirsty. So you're burning quite a lot of fuel there. I don't want to imagine how much fuel you're burning on takeoff and climb. Probably in the mid-20s per hour is what you're going to be burning. So I would say between 25 and 30 gallons of fuel per hour. And then again, once you get to your cruise, you're looking at about 17 gallons of fuel flow. Now, that said, the pilot that flies this airplane and just the pilot community in general, they have a lot of great things to say about the 206. You would hear things like, this is one of the most comfortable airplane to fly, and it works. It's a well-built machine, and you're gonna pay some nice change for it. Right now, to find a used airplane like this in very nice condition, you're looking at about $500,000, and that's in this market. Say you were looking at these 2-3 years ago, you probably would be able to save $100,000 to $200,000. But right now, you're looking at about $500,000 for one in this nice shape. And again, the practicality of this plane goes beyond just having standard fixed landing gear. You could also take those off and have floats on these, and trust me, I've seen them in floats. They're huge. But also when you have floats on, you're losing about 500 pounds because those things are heavy. But again, the plane can be used for so much more, and at the usage, the practicality, and the room that you have in this, you're looking at about $500,000. Okay, so guys, this is my review of the Cessna 206. I call it the SUV or the pickup truck of the skies. I hope you guys enjoy this review. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up, and if this is your first time, make sure you subscribe with the notification bell on. Consider supporting the channel on Patreon or here on YouTube. I really appreciate it, y'all, and I will catch you on the next video. Peace.